Hey man, this one here is it's about Phyno's album, Fulltime Job. All right. I don't know when he released that album, but I think it was sometime last week, right? Hey. And again, it's gonna be a similar reaction here, just like I had for Nas Boy's album in general and the song Hunger Games. Phyno used to be one of my best artists, or I would say Igbo artists. I would say artists in general. You know, because of the inspiration, the the mindset at the time. He had a music at the time which I play till this day. Anytime YouTube drops my review, my yearly review or whatever, right? My yearly playlist, right? Like the songs that I played the most. This songs, particular song, always comes up, and that song is "A Shot for Me" by Phyno. And that music, it will always resonate with me. It will always resonate with me because I've been in places where I felt really down. But because of the music, because of the lyrics of that song, it just made me keep my head up and keep striving and keep, hustling, keep pushing. Because he says in that music, "He shot for me. Olisado, Olisa kelolo wado, Imakwana ije teka." But he sure me say he sure for me. Hey man, shout out to Phyno in that time, man. The current Phyno, he's also trying to pivot into the feel good type of music. And my thing is this, right? Phyno really, at least in my opinion, just me looking from the outside, right? Phyno has made a lot of success. He's made a lot of success. He really doesn't need that feel good vibe. He really doesn't need it. Eminem, for instance, right? Eminem doesn't go out of his way to promote his albums because he doesn't really care. He's just making music. And if you love it, you love it. If you don't, it's what it is. He doesn't go out of his way to want to, put it on TikTok, make people dance to it. He doesn't go out of his way to do that. But this is something, and Phyno, in my opinion, he has earned his right to be called a legend in the music industry in Nigeria, right? And because of what he's done in the business, there are other young artists now that strive to be like him. Last week I talked about Cameo Hustler. These are young kids that looked up to Phyno because Phyno has been the only Igbo artist that came out in mainstream Nigerian music fair and killed it. Everybody knows Phyno in Nigerian music business, right? He's been one of those ones. And there's the Cameo Hustler, there's the Collar Boy, there's the Jerik, and a few others I probably don't remember right now. But these three, I listen to them a lot, so that's why I can remember them off the top of my head, right? Again, I think Phyno really doesn't need the feel good type of music to be relevant. He doesn't need relevance. He's already relevant. But I've seen Phyno go on TikTok and try to make people dance to his music, make dances and all that good stuff. Do I, and then it becomes a trendy song. I don't think Phyno needs that right now in his career. Phyno can be one of those people who can also talk about the conscious, just be conscious in their music about the society, social things. Just speak about it, right? At least, maybe because I'm getting too old. Hey, maybe because I'm getting too old and now I just want to hear conscious music. But conscious music can be fun too. It's not just being conscious and, not having fun. You can be conscious and still have fun, right? It can be done. Two-Face used to do it back in the day. he put all those conscious lyrics in his music, and everybody loved this still, right? Asha used to do it, you know. So why leave that type of music you used to do in the past and want to pivot now to a feel-good music, wanting to make people dance and all that good stuff? In my opinion, I just think it's not necessary, right? Phyno is one of the biggest Igbo names out there. And then in the album, The Fulltime Job, Phyno had a feature with Hush Puppy. Hush Puppy, as we know, it was the biggest scammer, at least we know now, in modern times, right? From Nigeria. He's currently in prison somewhere in the USA, maybe in Los Angeles or somewhere, facing maybe 10 years due to all the crimes or, scamming that he did. We all know the story about Hush Puppy, right? And then in that music still, Hush Puppy should have seized the moment to talk about the regrets, in my opinion, right? Hush Puppy should have seized that opportunity to talk about the regrets that he has scamming and how he has single-handedly changed a whole generation's mindset to become scammers, whether you like it or not, right? The current generation of young people in Nigeria who are scamming, most of them look up to Hush Puppy. So Hush Puppy should have seized that opportunity to talk about his regrets and how he regrets what he did, and how if given the opportunity again, what he would do different. This is what I think he should have done there. But hey, instead he was making some innuendos, some rhetorics. Everybody should run their race. Don't look at this, don't look at that. I'll tell you something, Hush Puppy, right? I'll tell you something. The feds are watching. The feds are listening. You might think they're not listening, but I promise you, they are listening. They are listening. And when they listen to what you say. And they're like, this guy is not remorseful. Okay, guess what? We're going to come up with some other trumped up charges, right? I'm just saying, hypothetically. But this is how these guys operate anyway. This is how these guys operate. They just want to make an example. That's all they want to do. They really don't care. It's all game, it's all fun and games to them. They don't care. Okay, this guy thinks we're playing, right? Okay, you're giving innuendos and rhetorics instead of you to be remorseful of what you did, right? You scammed all these people that you're talking about. Everybody should run their race, right? Okay, guess what we're going to do? We're going to come up with more charges and keep you behind there until you learn your lesson, right? I know this because I watch a lot of or I listen to a lot of stories by previous criminals. Ricky Ross, the guy who single-handedly again caused the crack cocaine era in America back in the 80s or so, right? Single-handedly. They've also made a movie about him in Snowflakes, right? He's narrated his story and how the feds kept coming back for him even after he had done his time. They made him go back again. Multiple times. So this is what they do. I'm not just saying this because I think I know it all. No, I don't know it all. I'm saying based on other people's experiences. The Wolf of Wall Street, that story was about a real human being. I forget his name now. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, right? But the real person behind that story has also said the same thing. They don't let you be. They just keep coming back with stupid stuff. The mob, the mafia. They don't let you be. They put you behind bars, you come out, they come up with something else, you go again. They come up with something else, you go again. But hey, Hush Puppy, man, I think if you have this type of opportunity, you should be using it to talk about regrets. not using it to say some code words, or no, be very clear and explicit about what you mean and how you regret what you did. That's all you need to come out, right? Unless you intend to come out and keep scamming. Unless that's the idea. But if your plan is to come out and become a better citizen of the world, right? Why not talk about how you regret what you did, right? At least that's what I expected on that one. And then Phyno on that one as well kept on talking about the lifestyle again. At this point, you don't need that though. You are Phyno. You've made it, right? You've made it. At least me looking from the outside, right? Your name is Phyno. You don't need all that one, like trying to be or look like the bad guy, or a bad guy. You don't need that. I don't know, man. These are just my thoughts on the album. And I would also have loved to see some of these young Igbo artists on that album as well, like DJ Reeks, DJ Reek, Cameo Hustler. I've seen you make a video on an Instagram video with Cameo Hustler. I've seen, I would have loved to see him on your album. A feature to make these guys, to put them out there. These are the things I would expect you to do now because you are Phyno. But I didn't see that. Instead, I was seeing people that I don't even know about, man. I'll tell you what, man, these guys look up to you. Whether they say it or not, the Collar Boys, the J Riggs, the Cameo Hustler, they look up to you. And then you do an album and you don't put them on there. I don't know. I think they're going to feel the type of way. Maybe they won't say it. Maybe I'm just the one saying it, right? But hey, it's what it is. Again, we're approaching the hour mark. We are 48 minutes right now. And I have just one more story to talk about here. And then I'm going to call it a day for today. But anyway, that's my review of the album. And that's how I feel about the album. There's no song on that album that I would play back. I played it one time. Typically, I would play an album maybe at least 3 times to even have an opinion. But I played that album one time. I know I played the feature, the interlude with Hush Puppy. I played that one maybe 2 or 3 times just to listen and make sure that I heard everything that I heard correctly. And it was just not something that I liked, right? And I've given my reasons why I didn't like that. But in general, the album is not something that I would want to play again. So Phyno, I don't know what you're doing, man, but you can do better, that's for sure.